today I want to invite you, we'll discuss about how you do your pricing. And I'll be looking at 10 pricing strategies. Now, I want to talk to you as the entrepreneur. And we will focus on these 10 pricing strategies. 1, penetration pricing. 2, promotion pricing. 3, competition pricing. 4, time pricing. 5, budget pricing. 6, product mix pricing. 7, package pricing. 8, positioning pricing. 9, value pricing. And lastly, number 10, premium pricing. Disclaimer: nothing is cast on stones. It does not mean if you use pricing strategy 1, penetration pricing, you can't use number 6 and number 7. We sell heaven to the customer just to log them in, just to penetrate the market. So many entrepreneurs behave exactly like the way a man does when he's trying to lock in a girl. Watch this. Penetration pricing is pricing to enter the market, to entice the market. The focus is to gain market share and acquire customers. We call it price skimming. We call it price skimming. If you are very keen, you will notice something. When flat TVs came in the market, the price was very high. Even smart TVs. Once they locked people in, the prices dropped because people are buying for prestige. All right, number 2, promotion pricing. So many of us have done this. So there are 3 times you do promotion pricing mainly. 1, to increase sales in the short run. Number 2, to reduce inventories when you're disposing like dead stock. And number 3, when you have special occasions, you can have an offer for Christmas, for Easter. So you can promote products during certain seasons to get customers in your shop, and then they're going to buy other products because you're only perhaps playing with them with only 1 or 2 products. Number 3, competitive pricing. Competitive pricing. Now, this is a pricing based on how competition is pricing products. It's looking at how the others are behaving in the market and price yourself accordingly. Warning: competitive pricing is a reactive strategy. You're always on defensive, not on the offensive. Those of you who are soccer fans, you know you can never win the game. Time pricing. Time pricing. And here is the deal. Time pricing is when pricing is based on how much time the service provider spends. Most lawyers, most doctors, most consultants will charge you the time you spend with them. That's what happens. Per hour rating, per day rating, per week. Some consultants will even charge you per month. This is very common with consultants. Now, I want to explain to you why. Here's the deal. This has been very common for businesses like the one Eric is doing. But I want to challenge you right now. People are moving from per hour rating to results. And this is what I want to tell to you, Eric, and everyone else whom I disagreed with. I want to challenge you right now to stop focusing on per hour rating. It's old-fashioned for the consultants I have told. And what is results? It means if I'm designing your website, I'm no longer focusing on how many hours I'm spending doing the website, but on delivering the website. So if I'm going to be in design work, I am no longer focusing on the design work, on the hours I spend, but on delivering the artworks. I'll tell you this. I have somebody who does design work for me, and she wanted me to pay her for an per hour. I told her she has lost me as a customer. I can only pay her on project basis, results. I have somebody who does videos for me, same story. And I want to convince you because per hour rating, per day rating, per week rating will not be sustainable for the consultants I mentioned. People pay for results. Any fee is too high for failure. No fee is too high for success. And I'll tell you this. I can get personal here because there are places I charge per hour. There are places I charge per product. Now, when I speak for the Fortune 500 companies, I charge them per hour. I charge them per hour. When I'm doing consultancy, for example, next week, I'll be reviewing the strategic plan for Stanbic. And graciously, Southern Sudan, Stanbic Bank, Southern Sudan is the largest bank in Southern Sudan by turnover. Graciously, they allowed me to do that virtually, so I will not be traveling to Juba. As a result, I have even cut down the price. I've given them a high discount because they have cut off my travel cost. But they are not going to pay me that job. That job, in my estimate, will cost me about 8 working days. But I'm not charging them for 8 days. I'm charging them for 2 specific jobs. I'm going to give them the strategic plan review report and the new strategic plan. Now, some places I go beyond that and I make a commitment on the deliverables on the ground. I'll tell you that in a short while. And this is what I have realized with time. When I tell people, don't pay me, look, let me give you an example. 2019, I did a strategic plan for the National Treasury in Kenya. This is the strategic plan running the country. Remember this, all ministries of government, their strategic plans must align with the National Treasury. All parastatals, all public universities, all county governments, their strategic plans must align with the National Treasury. It is the overall strategic plan that runs the country. I had the honor and the privilege to facilitate that strategic plan. And by the way, they paid me some good money. To God be the glory, I tithed to church anyway. Here's the deal. They did single sourcing. They really wanted me to do that job. And the deal was very clear. Don't pay me a coin, not even down payment. By the way, I didn't ask for anything except they had to take care of my flights and my accommodation. Nothing else. Until I delivered the job. And when I was delivering the final strategic plan to Anthony Muriu, the chief economist, you could tell the level of satisfaction. And I tell you this, to God be the glory, I'm not trying to brag. He said that was the best they have ever had with zero headache. And I kept them on their toes Monday through Saturday. And I said, these are the deliverables. We are not focusing on the number of days. I'm charging you for the project. And this is the challenge I'm giving you guys. Those of you doing the website, stop charging per hour. You'll start looking like a con. Charge for the delivery of the website. Number 5, budget pricing. Budget pricing. Now, this is a cost markup pricing model. Pricing to pay the bills. What does that mean? I check my costs, my overheads, the cost of producing the good or the service, and then I say I'm going to charge 10% more than the cost. So I know how much it cost me to get the car from Japan, or I mean the entire cost. CRDF, duty, road transport to Nairobi. The car cost me 1 million shillings. I'm going to mark up, I'm selling it at 1.2 million. We call it budget pricing. But the truth is, budget pricing sometimes means I'm not even going to mark up at all. First, I'm going to break even. Or markup is just 1% or 2% to attract the customers, and then I can add up the markup, the gross profit margin, the GP margin. Now think about this. The first few seats in a plane are sold very cheap. Why? They just want to cover up the costs. So if you pay for flight early enough, you get it cheap. That's what they are doing. They are trying to at least break even. So if they have, say, 250 seats, they sell the first 100 seats. I'm giving just hypothetical figures in a very affordable way, very cheaply. Then the next 150 seats, that's where they're gonna make the money. I've done a couple of sea cruises. I've cruised in Southeast Asia, in Europe, and what I've seen, whenever you are paying for a sea cruise, if you pay an year in advance, my goodness, you pay like a quarter of the price. The guys who pay the last 3 months, they pay for the rest of us who are organized and who plan early. I want to ask you an ethical question here. Suppose you are a project manager of a housing project, a construction project, and you are the civil engineer or the architect. Either way, you're the project manager. You're overseeing a construction project. And then you know this project is going to cost, say, 20 million shillings. You agree with the developer, you're charging 15%. But then you realize if you get material from China or from South Korea or from South Africa, the housing project will come down to 15 million instead of 20 million. But then your price is a percent of the cost. The developer is paying you a percent of the cost. So if it is 10% and you're closing, the project is 20 million, you have 2 million. But if you do it at 15 million, you are going to get 1.5 million as a consultant. Let's look at number 6, product mix pricing. In this pricing model, price is based on other products. And I want us to look at 3 situations where you mix products. 3 situations. Now, situation number 1, product line. For example, if you go to a plane, you realize they have economy and business class. And some of them have economy, business class, and first class. The same aircraft, we are all leaving the same time, all of us reaching the same time, but we travel differently. Some of us will be sleeping like they're in their own house, and the others will be squeezed. Same aircraft, different products. So they have mixed the products, the same plane. Now, number 2, optional products. You buy a car, but the guy says, you can buy this car with a car radio system. It's an add-on product, but it's optional. You don't have to take the car radio system. You don't have to. But some products are very tricky. You don't have a choice. We call them captive products. You are forced, because a printer cannot function without cartridges. So once you buy a printer, you are forced to buy cartridges. For example, you buy Microsoft products, Microsoft Office, and then you realize you will need their maybe antivirus, or you buy their OS, operating system, and then you're fixed to buy Windows. And this is common in life. So, and what I have seen, like printers, they will ensure if you buy a printer which is 252XL, you'll have to buy a cartridge which is 252XL, otherwise they're not compatible.